Hi guys, good evening and a warm welcome to today's episode of Jonas Speak Live. On every Thursday, what we do is to tell you about prominent men who motivated themselves, who despite their situations, despite their conditions, never gave up. They motivated themselves to become prominent people in the world. In our last episode, we talked about Jack Ma, who despite several trials, several struggles, he kept on moving. On today's occasion, I'm bringing to you another very, very prominent person. Yes, very, very prominent person. You might have seen him, but you might not know him with the name. So I want you to sit tight, watch this video, and learn one or two things from it. So for you who have ever felt like giving up, there's no one who has never felt like giving up. Everybody felt like giving up in one stage of his life or another. So this message is for you. I want you to listen to it. Today we'll be talking about a very, very prominent person. His name is Nick Vujicic. Yes, Nick Vujicic. He's a very, very prominent person. If you can't remember him with this name, Nick Vujicic, you remember him with this condition: the man born without no arms and no legs. Yes, the man born without no arms and no legs. The man below. Yes, you see him there. So I want to tell you about Nick Vujicic, and we are going to take one or two lessons from him. So sit tight and listen, please. Don't miss this. This is for you who feels like giving up. So Nick Vujicic was born without arms and was also born without legs from birth. Yes, he was born from birth, not like he was born with arms or later on. No, while he was being given birth to, he was born without no arms, no legs. So from birth, even people labeled him as being disabled, but no, that was how he was being given birth to. So as a child, you being born without arms and leg, you will face rejection, and Nick was of no exception. Not only rejection, he also faced mockery. People mocked him, and most at times he was lonely, no friends, because people see him as different from others. So there were days Nick felt useless. There were days he questioned his existence, and there were days he even questioned God. He got to that extent of questioning God. Imagine you being born without arms and legs. Yes, this was the condition of Nick. So at 10 years old, Nick tried to take his own life. At 10 years, he faced rejection, he faced mockery, he faced loneliness, and he even questioned God. And he got to a point where he tried to take his own life. Not because he lacked limbs, but because he lacked hope. Yes. When you decide to go to an extent where you decide to take your own life, it's because you feel that there is no more hope for you anymore. But the shocking thing was that God had a plan for him. And this is God's plans for Nick. Nick discovered something powerful. Now the truth is that if you have to discover something in your own self, you have to discover something in your own self to be able to know that, or to feel like you can do it out there. Yes, there must be something you carry. So Nick discovered something powerful. His life was not an accident. Yes, his life was not an accident. His condition was not a cause. No one cursed him. But it was a platform. Now we are going to see what platform his life was. Now, one thing he stopped doing was asking why me. Yeah, there are some certain questions you need to stop asking yourself. That's why we talk about Elite mindset. Yes, there are some questions you need to stop asking yourself, like why me? Why am I in these conditions? Yeah, you don't need it. And he started asking, what can I do with what I have? Remember, he had no arms and he had no legs, but he was asking himself that thing he had inside of him, what can he do with that thing? Yes. Today, after he discovered everything, what he could do with what he had inside of him, despite what he did not have, which was arms and legs. Yes. Today, Nick Vujicic has spoken in over 70 countries. Imagine a man without arms and a man without legs. He has inspired millions of lives, and wow, he's married. He's a father. He's married and he's a father. I think he even has 3 kids or 2 kids. I stand to be corrected. Yes, and he's good at swimming. He's a painter. He's a motivational speaker. Imagine someone without arms and legs. Yes. Now, Nick Vujicic is a living proof that limits don't stop purpose. Now, one thing you need to get to understand is when you are going through tough times, you need to ask yourself, what is my purpose? Yes. If you don't really have a purpose, then you get it all wrong. Yes. That's why most people tend to live their life the way they are living it, because they feel like they are just here to live life. And no, you need to understand your purpose and live towards your purpose. Yes. People with full bodies listening to a man with no limbs. Imagine people with hands, legs, eyes, and listening to a man without arms and legs. Imagine. And the most funny thing is that they find courage to rise again. They find courage to rise again. Now hear this and hear me clearly. If Nick could live with purpose without arms and legs, then your fear is not stronger than your destiny. Remember, I always tell you that your destiny can be delayed, but it cannot be denied. And I also told you that as a man with an elite mentality, you need to do away with what? With fear, and always have what? Faith. The story is really touching. A man without arms and without legs. People with arms and legs sit down and listen to him to encourage them. Wow. Your struggle is not your story. Your pain is not your prison. Now let me take you to a passage in the Bible that you get to understand it. In Jeremiah 29 verse 11, it says, "For I know the plan I have for you, declares the Lord, the plan to give you a hope, the plan to give you hope and what? And a future." What me I understand from this is that no matter what you are going through in life, God has a plan for you. Some version says, a plan towards you are of goods and not of evil. Yes. So that is why we need to encourage ourselves. And Nick is a very, very wonderful example. If you have ever felt like giving up, remember Nick without arms and without legs. So today, what I'm going to tell you is that don't quit. Yes, don't quit. Don't give up. In my last video, I said don't give up, and I will just keep saying it. Don't give up. And don't stay silent. Yes, don't stay silent. Speak life over your dreams. Speak life over your future. Yes. One thing we do here is always what? Speaking life. I hope you enjoyed today's package. This is Jonas, always speaking life to you. Please do like, do follow, and do share. Remember, if Nick didn't quit, then why should you? This is Jonas speaking life to you. Take charge of your life. Don't quit. Don't give up. See you next time.